So today we have the T-34 76 mod 1941. It's a dragging kit from, I believe, 2004, based on the 2003 tooling, obviously with just some slightly updated parts to take it from the 1940 model up to 1941. It's a dragging kit. The call out in the box is for a winter vehicle. You do get decals that support the camouflage style. So we'll take a quick look at them and then we'll get started looking at instructions and whatnot. So this is the first decal sheet that you get with the cross hatching on it. Honestly, I'm not sure why you would use it when you could easily hand paint the checkers on, but they are made by Cartograph of Italy and they are very nice, as we've come to expect from the people over at Cartograph. There's another decal sheet included here which has all sorts of markings and unit insignia, so plenty of options over what to build as you go through. One thing that they do include is just a brief sheet like this. It's not in color or anything. It is literally just a piece of paper that they've probably mass printed and guillotined and thrown at the box, but it does the job. You know what decals are which. You get some ideas for how to use the slogans and things like that, and it's a bit cheaper because the instructions in this kit, which is number 6205, the instructions are actually in full color, so that's very nice. So the instructions here, as I said, full color. It's got a good parts layout. There is one part that's not listed here, and I honestly have no idea how to use it, but I've got a theory. So as we see, full color, magic tracks, it goes guide horn, no guide horn down the line, and obviously, as you can see, kind of very clearly laid out. It is a two-part turret, and there's not much to it. It's an earlier model of the T-34, so there's not too much in the way of stowage. And then you've got the two color callouts here telling you you've got one from the southern front and one from near Moscow, to give you kind of an idea of how you could paint this up if you so chose. So the extra part, I mentioned there was an extra part here. It's this. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. It's literally a piece of cardboard. The only thing I can think of is that it goes in here so that if you use the photo etch access panel rather than the Tamiya style one, similar to the one on the Academy model that I showed you all previously, then there's actually something in there to look at. Personally, I wish they'd used louvers, because the way they look on the Academy kit is fine. You can't see that there's no engine and transmission under there. And while I've got the top hull in my hand, I'll take a look at it. I did remove it from the frame. I think it comes in the C frame. I did remove it just so that I could make my own life a bit easier showing you the card there. It's a good mold. It's not too old. It's 15 years, but everything's nice and crisp. The weld lines look decent, if a bit soft for a vehicle of the Soviet Union, but the panel lines here around the filler caps are nice and crisp. All the rivets and whatnot look good. There's no sinks or pits or any of that garbage. So there's photo etch. There's not much in the way of photo etch, but there is photo etch. The screen there, as mentioned, for the engine cover. Then the straps for holding down the ice cleats are photo etch, as well as there's some straps for the boxes. These ones up here, are photo etch. They're not molded onto the plastic there. So there's that. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. It seems like it's going to be about right. And then you've got two metal tow cables as well. Okay, let's have a look at some plastic, shall we? Because this is the bit that we always seem to be wanting. So this is the C sprue. This is where the upper hull came from, and it's kind of just a lot of smaller gun parts. It looks like this looks like it should belong to the gun. Some brackets and bits and pieces of that sort. Nothing really to write home about, but it's a decent mold. There's a couple of flash lines, but I mean, you give it a run over with a sanding stick. It's flash, but it's not the sort of flash that's going to take you an hour of hard labor to fix. This is the turret roof, lower glacis plates. Again, pretty decent. These eyelets look fairly good. Exhausts are two-part. Personally, I like that because they fit pretty well. And then the headlamps, the 41 model did have two headlamps on it. So there's that. I think that's the gun, which is freaking tiny, but pretty cool. So we got that. What's this guy? This is, yeah, these look like tie downs for the ice cleats and things like that. They're very, very small, but you can see the thickness of them. I don't know how well it shows on the camera, but the thickness of them does show why they decided to include the PE option. They are a bit chubby. Okay, turret. It's a two-piece turret, which is what it is, I guess. I'm not a huge fan on two-piece turrets, but it's not really worth crying about, to be quite honest with you. The upper front plate, this has the mud guards already molded on there, but it looks good. It's got the older style driver's hatch here, as well as the mounts for the two 45-degree viewports and the upper engine deck there. Again, like the Academy one, it's got the solid Tamiya style piece, so like, just try it, you know. If you mess it up, you've got the older part, the older style part to fall back on. And granted, I've not built this one, but it's basically going to be the same as the Academy T-34 and how it goes together. These engine vents look nice. It looks like it's got a deep enough run to absorb a nice pin wash without being so deep that it looks weird. Old style driver's hatch, and the machine gun port has the weld detail already on it, as well as the transmission cover at the back there, which again looks very good. So here we have the road wheel frame. This does go to the 40 and 41 model according to the molding. The road wheels look good. There's a little seam down the middle, but from all the tanks that I've been up close to, all the road wheels seem to have that, as well as the idlers and the drive sprockets. Like I said, there's two of these frames. So not going to show you both of them. They should be about the same. Looks like they fit together pretty well. And then there's guide holes for making sure that your idler and drive sprocket roll up correctly, as well as some extra toolboxes. The ends for the tow cables, which do have a slot in them to help you fit in the wire, and they look nicely detailed with the bit of texture that they have. What have we got here? Well, this is the gun, the breech, as well as a two-part barrel. Two-part barrels were kind of normal back then. Definitely I've got some dragging kits from the 3945 series which have metal barrels in them, but this is obviously not a premium kit like they are, so it is as it is. The detail here, rivet detail, weld detail, all looks pretty good. The mantle looks nice, and we've also got the front part of the turret, so it's really a three-piece turret. I'll be interested to see how that builds up. I might just pop it together just to see how it goes. There's some extra storage boxes here. Yeah, I mean, it's not like some kits. I've had some kits that are older. This frame is hella bent. I don't know if that's from the factory or not, but none of the others are quite that curved. So see if that affects the fit at all on any of these parts. I lost my train of thought, I apologize. Here we've got the suspension parts. We do have these are one-piece springs. These go on the inside of the hull for the Christie suspension. Interestingly, there's only 8 of these in my box, and there should be 10. So it's either a case of I'm forgetting how Christie suspension works, or they're a bit short. That being said, you can't see them once the road wheels are on anyway, so you could easily just not have them and it wouldn't make any darned difference. Transmission cover, this is part of the engine deck, suspension arms with appropriate guides to make sure that you do get a nice level model out of it, and then the brackets that the tie downs go on through. There's I don't know if you can see it, but there's ejector pin marks right in here. Would be a nightmare to fill if you could see them. Again, you can't see it once the suspension's on, never mind when you've got road wheels and tracks in there. So personally, I won't be filling that one. We got tracks. They're not magic tracks. I think I said that earlier. They're individual links. There's grousers here as well for ice cleats. There's 3 of this frame, and you get half with the guide horn and half without. And every single one of them has 2 very faint ejector pin marks on it. I don't know how well that shows in the light, but they're there. Yep, there we go. This guy right here seems to be showing it pretty well. They are all like that, so you would need to either fill or sand every single link to get a shot of that. So could be a bit labor intensive. This frame's a bit twisted as well. But that's about the only deficiency that I've really found. I've not found anything really. We've got the lower hull, good rivet detail. This is where the spring mounts go inside. Pretty sure this front road wheel should have one as well. I'm gonna have to check and see, but yep. So I'll go through there. You would usually be able to see the wheel through there, the road wheel through there, but like I say, it's once sorry, the spring through there, but once you get the road wheel on, you're not gonna. Looks nice and square. These guys do flex at the back a little bit, but I imagine that once you get the back plate and stuff in, that big chunky transmission housing is gonna fix that right quick. And then the last thing that we've got is the headlamps. Clear plastic is what it is, it's clear plastic. These are actually pretty decent looking. They've got a nice pattern to them. The pattern does lend itself to having them a certain way. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. Anyway, that's been the T-34-76 mod 1941. The reason I decided to review this one this week is because when I was talking about the Academy one, I kind of threw a bit of shade on it, saying that the Academy one looked a bit better. The Academy one's 10 years newer though. So I thought I'd give this one its fair run, take a rummage through the box and see what we saw. Hopefully you have enjoyed it all, and we will hopefully see you all again soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.